Hi guys, it's me Jonathan Knight of Gorehound Central. I'm back with my first video since I think early this year. It's been quite a few months since I did my last one. And I stopped doing them for a couple of reasons, but now I'm back with them. I've gotten quite a few DVDs since then, but I'm only going to pick out the last few I've gotten, and I got more coming in, and I'll do that on next week's video. And these ones are going to be hopefully a lot shorter than my previous ones, but I can't promise anything. First one I want to show is Killjoy Goes to Hell. The fourth Killjoy movie. As you already know, the first two Killjoy movies were some of the worst movies ever made. I don't know one person that likes either of those two movies. They're not only some of the worst movies ever made, they're two of the worst full moon movies. You know, Full Moon Entertainment or Full Moon Pictures, whatever they're calling themselves. And then they came out with the Killjoy 3, and I remember thinking, why? The first two were bad enough, but surprisingly, number 3 was a lot of fun. They took a completely new direction with the series. The first two were like urban horror movies. They were made by they were kind of made by another label. Full Moon released them, but another label, like Big City Pictures. They were like to do urban horror movies. They did a movie called the Horrible Dr. Bones or the Terrible Dr. Bones. And they did the first two Killjoy movies. And the first one must have did really well because they made a second one like 2 years later. But it was like a good 8 years before the third one came out. And the third one, not only was it great, but it did extremely well on DVD. I'm showing this again. It did extremely well on DVD, and it sold, I'm guessing, a shitload of copies. And it was rented. So they made a fourth movie with the same people who did the third movie, Killjoy Goes to Hell. Trent Haga, if you don't know who he is, he starred in Troma's Terror Firma, and he starred in and co-wrote and I think co-produced Citizen Toxie. So he was a Troma person. He started his career out in Troma. And eventually he played Killjoy in the second movie. He was the only good part of the second movie. And then he's gone off. He directed a movie called Chop, which I don't need to go off topic, but it was just fucking fantastic. One of the best indie movies, probably in the longest time. You can tell that he used to work from Troma from watching it because it has a very fucked up sense of humor and has some really outrageous gore towards the end of the movie. But he was Killjoy in 2 and 3, and now he's back as Killjoy again. And the plot, since he failed to kill a victim in the third movie, he's being punished in hell. They're gonna basically erase his existence if he loses his case that he's not evil enough. See, that's what they're accusing him. He's not evil enough because he failed to kill his last victim. So if he ends up, if they end up winning, they'll erase his existence forever. So he has to prove to the jury, which Satan's the judge, that he is in fact an evil motherfucker. So he enlists the 3 clowns that he created in the third movie, including a sexy ass succubus, I'm probably saying it wrong, succubus, called Batty Boop, to prove that he is evil motherfucker. This movie, the first thing that surprised me about it is most full moon movies run under 90 minutes. Actually, they run about under 80 minutes, some of them. Their movies are usually really short and to the point. This movie actually runs 92 minutes, and so it actually feels like a full movie. Killjoy 3, although I really liked it, it was a little short, but this movie's longer, has more plot to it. Not as much gore. I mean, the first 3 movies weren't really gory, but this one probably the least gory, but it's also the funniest and the funnest of the series. Trent Haga is fucking fantastic as Killjoy. He's just really, I mean, if they ever replace him as Killjoy, I'll be really pissed off, because he completely outshined the guy who played him in the first movie. But yeah, this is really fun. If you're a fan of full movies and you think Full Moon's gone downhill, now I haven't seen the new Puppet Master movie. That actually came out after this movie, so I don't have no idea how that is. But this is top notch Full Moon. Full Moon hasn't been nearly as good as they were during the Paramount days, which was 89 to 95, I believe. This movie, though, it brings them back. This and 3. I recommend 3 and this one. Now, do I recommend watching 1 and 2? Not really, but I think you really need to watch 1 and 2 to appreciate how good 3 and 4 are. Because, trust me, If you watch 3 and 4 alone, you'll probably like them if you're a big Full Moon fan. But if you watch 1 and 2, you'll really appreciate them a lot more. When I watched 1 and 2, I was like, man, I'm not in the mood for part 3. And when I watched 3, it was amazing how different the quality between the third and the first 2 movies. It was pretty stunning. You haven't seen that much jump in a quality ever in a film series. But Killjoy Goes to Hell, if you're a Full Moon fan, and if you like the third movie, I highly recommend checking this out. I just was at Walmart the other day, and they do have it in Redbox, so go ahead and give it a rent. For an indie film, the special effects and everything are pretty good. There's some iffy CGI, but that's to be expected in these kind of movies. I do recommend Killjoy Goes to Hell. It's a lot of fun. Next is I finally got a Regent free player, a DVD player, not Blu-ray. Sorry, high defers. And it's got a movie that I used to watch all the time as a kid, and I loved it as a kid. And it has never been released on DVD in the States, but they had a Region 2 release, and that's Spookies. Now, if you don't know what Spookies is, let me tell you what Spookies is. Spookies is a movie about kids going into a house and they're attacked by monsters. The plot of the movie is a mess because it's actually 2 different movies edited together. It's a movie called Twisted Souls that there's rumors back and forth. They either finished it and they cut footage and they replaced it with other footage, or it wasn't finished and they just completed it with a different director. And the other footage is the Spookies footage, and the Spookies footage is a little boy going in the house and he gets killed and all that. But basically the plot, like I said, it's a mess. It's just kids getting killed off by monsters in a haunted house. It's basically a haunted house movie. But so the movie's not really good in the sense of plot development. The characters are kind of bland and all that. But the movie's worth watching, and there's a reason why I liked it as a kid is because there's a shitload of fucking monsters in this movie. There's zombies, farting muckmen, little gremlin creatures, a demonic, Evil Dead kind of possessed woman, monster with electric eels, a spider woman, the fucking best special effect movie. It's a fucking woman, like an Asian woman that turns into like a spider, and she sucks the life out of this dude. Spoiler. But there's a fucking shitload of monsters in the movie. If you go in expecting to be wowed by the plot and character shit, no. But if you just want to see like 90 or like 80 minutes of fucking awesome monsters, I highly recommend this. It's kind of like Neon Maniacs, where Neon Maniacs is nothing special, but it has a lot of awesome monsters in it. Spookies, I would say Spookies and Neon Maniacs would make a fucking perfect double feature. And I would just get a Region free player and get the DVD because I don't ever see this coming to DVD in the States. For some reason, I don't think anybody would want to talk about it because it has a lot of production problems. Like I was saying, it's 2 different sets of 2 different movies, like 3 different directors and all that. But man, the special effects in this movie are great. This kicks the shit out of CGI. All these monsters are like I said, the Spider Woman. It's just that whole sequence is just incredible. It has the one character in it that gets killed. It's the only character I liked in the movie. But Spookies. You can see a scene from the Spider Woman scene right here. Spookies, fucking incredible. Download it. Buy the Region 2 DVD. I say download it because you can get a cheap Region 2 DVD player. Region free, not Region 2. But Spookies is great. Muckman, yeah, there is farting Muckman. They're like these mud people that fart. I don't know if that's part of the original footage they shot, but I have no idea if the sound effects, the farting, was in the original footage. Whatever it is, fucking hysterical. Okay, I got